21 tips and tricks that will help you gain an edge in Battlefield 6. These tips range from must-have settings, valuable secrets that you should know about, loadout tips, and much more. For a little bit of context though, I just came back from LA where I was playing Battlefield 6 early along with some of the best and the brightest players in the space. And after having spent over 10 hours playing the game before the gates even open for this beta, I have tons of tips and observations that will help you gain that edge on the battlefield. Also, very important thing to mention, on the flight home, I had the pleasure of getting to speak with Jeremy from DICE, that's this guy. And he confirmed that the build that we're playing in during the beta, at the very least the early access and the first weekend's beta, is the same build that we played on during the LAN. And that is important since it shows that what we learned will still be very relevant in the early access and in the betas. But without further ado, let's dive into it. Let's hop into the range here. So as you can see here, there's 4 different classes. Obviously, they have their own gadgets and whatever, but they also have here a subclass. And depending on your subclass, you have, you can see here level 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 3. That's an active one, which you get once you have unlocked on level 3. You level these levels up by doing squad, like getting squad score. If you get a full squad wipe, as I understand it, you lose it, it's gone. Standard passive thing, you say that gives movement speed penalty when aiming on sights when moving, so you ADS faster. You don't get like a penalty. So it'll be like just you don't slow down when you ADS with a assault rifle. So you still wouldn't play assault even though the classes are open. And when you get level 3, you get the combat stimulant. This thing is insane because for the next 5 seconds, you get a wall hack actually that highlights nearby enemies. You also get 3 weapons. So you have a primary, your secondary, and then a select amount of primary weapons as well. I'm gonna be running the shotgun. This thing is amazing. They also have the passives here. Engineer, repair tool, SMG, flak jacket, takes less damage, better handling with SMGs. You'll get a passives, active one, 50% faster repair tool for 10 seconds when you activate it. They also carry extra rockets when they're anti-armor. This is a subclass. This is not every engineer. It's just that subclass. For supports, there's no sprint speed penalty for when you hold the LMG. And your combat medic has an active ability that turns you into mobile supply bag for 10 seconds. And you revive teammates in 2.5 seconds. It's much faster. Your passive, you distribute health back to teammates when they directly interact with you. We're just gonna count like the first passives just to save time. Recon, you can hold your breath and reach chamber quicker between shots. You auto spot when you aim down sights, so you don't have to spot yourself. Very strong. The sniper class has improved auto spotting at level 2. So this is like when you've leveled it up, most of the time you get kill confirmed. So the headshots from a sniper rifle, they can't revive them. Permadeath. And once you get level 3 of this, you get the UAV call-in. It basically spots enemies within a region. So that's what the different passives do. This is passives for every class, abilities for every class. Obviously, they have their own weapons, whatnot. Doesn't really matter too much. But these are important to know because that means, again, that you really do not want to die when you're playing squad or you're getting a squad. Best settings. Let's talk about those. There's a lot of really cool settings you need. I haven't touched these. You could raise the brightness. I feel like you see things pretty solid. I found this from Liam Tweaks is his name, so I would recommend so you know you can trust this. This guy knows his stuff. So I set the sensitivity to it works for me, just a normal so I can turn around. When you go to infantry control settings, there's something called uniform infantry aiming. And it's set to 133 by default. You need to set this to 0, and you will feel a lot better when you aim down sights or hip fire, or you use different like sights. Like having this set to 0 basically makes it always feel the same no matter what you do. Now I set my field of view to 120. I might lower it because it's quite high, but normally as a rule of thumb, you want to have it as high as possible since you have a wider, when you have a wider field of view, you can see enemies much more easily. When you're in here, you want to set this just as high as you can. Wide, world motion blur 0, weapon motion blur 0, camera shake amount as low as possible 20, chromatic abbreviation off, vignette off, film grain off. It looks nice. We want it to run well and to play well and to look well. We need good visibility. We will not get that otherwise. Advanced. I'm running a 4090 and a 7800 XUD. I have a great PC, but I'm still going to change this to as low as possible. In this case, in NVIDIA Reflex, I said it's enabled. It can be enabled boost, I guess. Copy these. Performance overlay I set to simple, just have some more information. Audio, there's one cool setting down here. In-world radio volume. Set this if you want. This basically means if they speak if your teammates speak in radio, you will hear like them in real life. So it's like not exactly proximity chat, but it's sort of like it. Like they can hear the direction they come from. So they're not straightforward like any other, like your Discord or whatever, but like if they're to your left, you'll hear them from your left. And of course the graphics, set it to custom. And this is what I did. It's not everything low because some things can be high and not take too much of a toll. Copy these. But what I said was texture filtering low, mesh quality medium, terrain quality, undergrowth quality low, undergrowth quality low, FX quality low, volumetric quality low, lighting quality high, local light and shadow quality high, sun shadow quality low, shadow filtering PCF, reflection quality medium, screen space reflections, post-process quality off, post-process quality low, screen space AONGI, SSGI low. See, it's not all the way down. High fidelity objects amounts. You don't need to go full down. Oh, another setting I forgot to mention that you really want to change is, let's see, system. Network graph make sure to turn this on. This just gives you information if you're struggling. So if you look back at a VOD or you record a clip or something, you'll tell when you're having network issues. I also have the performance display up here, so you can see everything all the time. So I spent about an hour, 2 hours back in LA just getting these numbers. They should be actually exactly the same because you can see Assault doesn't have the beacon. So I ran these numbers a while ago. Literally should work. These are the times to kill. We got the damage per weapon. So the graphics aren't fully updated. They're not fully accurate. I ran this in the firing range. You have the damage, the rate of fire, damage per second. You have the shots to kill. Everyone has 100 health. Does it account for damage range? And you have, of course, the time to kill. So we can figure out what the better guns are. What I did figure out though is that there is one issue, which is that your bullet velocity impacts your damage fall off. So if you use a different barrel that raises your velocity, then it raises your damage. Not only is it easier to hit shots of a range, but it raises your damage as well. So these numbers are pretty much accurate, but I don't account for different ranges. These are like perfect condition, close range. And then we have certain weapons that you really want to look out for. For example, like when you look at this right here, you would think, okay, the LMG, the L100, it has one of the highest DPSs in the game. That's one of the highest time to kill in the game at, or lowest at 0.25. It's super fast, very little recoil, even as a stock weapon. But when you use it, it's just really slow and clunky, and you just end up not getting kills. So there's like more to it than just the damage per second. But if you can get a perfect condition, absolutely, it is insanely strong in theory. But after testing around, I found that the weapons that you do want to use would be something like the B36, which is something I prefer a lot. This is one I used. And now you can't commit to a spray with the B36 even when fully stacked. However, if you just shoot a burst of 5 or 6 bullets, it will kill somebody over any range before the recoil really kicks in. If I would give you guys some tips for few standout weapons during this playtest, we're gonna firstly say the shotgun. This thing was overpowered in LA. It is still overpowered. Probably best weapon this range. This is without slugs. Default shotgun, one shot, 8 hip fire. You don't even need the ADS. Extremely strong. Loses a lot of value like around here. One shots at that range does like 10 meters actually. But 15 to 20, it sucks. If you get slugs in one shot, it's extremely strong, but you'd have to ADS or it's gonna have crazy spread. I'm pretty sure it works. So if you can't really cancel the reload if you shoot. Like this, and then you have to like, it just forces you like to do that. However, reload, one in, and then there you go, much faster. So just pistol and back. And it cancels the reload, like this little punishment. Just cancels the reload completely. If you already put the bullet in, it counts. So it's pretty valuable reload cancel you can do there. Other recommendations that I would have would be the AK-205. I don't have access. This thing has practically no recoil, even without any attachments. It actually has a pretty low time to kill, or rather high time to kill. The damage per second is low. However, it does a lot. It has so little recoil that it just beams over range. Extremely, massively good. Again, B36, definitely like big vouch for me. Insanely good. And of course, you have the SGX. I would say this is probably the better SMG from what we figured out. Not only does it hit really hard, it has pretty low recoil. It has a attachment. Now, obviously, we can't equip this now because we don't have everything unlocked. There's an under barrel here that lets you shoot while sprinting. That's the compact hand stop, which gives you just a lot of things you can do. So you combine that with like a hip fire build, you can just go absolutely crazy with movement. I did forget to mention that the B36 also has an attachment. I think all assault rifles might have this. This thing here, the match trigger, that lets you single tap, which makes it single tap but less like recoil. So you actually can beam over range as well if you swap to single tap. Obviously, we have to be mindful of this up here. This is our budget. There's a maximum attachment points, so you cannot equip literally everything. You have to be a bit mindful of what you equip. So you only have 100 points to work with. Overall, you probably would want to build for recoil though. And a lot of these optic accessories and whatever are not really good unless you're going for something very specific. All in all, when it comes to your weapon choice, there doesn't seem to be a perfect all-round weapon. So I think it just comes down to picking a weapon that you feel more comfortable with. Next thing is another feature that we noticed when we were going through the game. I noticed this when I was playing and people told me I was crazy. So there's something they have in this game that they brought back. This is from many years ago. Apparently, I didn't know about this. It's a mechanic that they had in, I want to say, Battlefield 1. It's called Sweet Spot. So, oh, that's so cool. Wait, they're playing OG Battlefield music in their firing range. That's actually insane. What a throwback. So the game has a sweet spot mechanic. What does that mean? Okay, when you shoot somebody close range, 64 damage. You shoot somebody far range, 100 damage. Oh, it actually goes all the way. Okay, that's good to know. How far is that? 72 meters plus with this weapon. It depends on the weapon you're using. So yeah, so sweet spot basically means that up at a certain range, your shots will do less damage with a sniper. And as the range goes up, the damage goes up until you hit that sweet spot where a body shot will deal 100 damage for a body shot. Now, if you get too far away, I believe there's damage fall off, so it's no longer a one-shot anymore, hence the word sweet spot, though I haven't tested it enough to know for sure. So another really big tip I wanted to mention is something called the right-hand peek. When you peek something, you always want to peek with your right side if possible. Not only do we have auto leaning, we're going to cover the movement in a bit, but just by peeking with your right side, you'll be able to see your target faster than they can see you. Then when it comes to spraying, obviously, game has recoil control. The better gear you have, the better your recoil control will be. You just learn the patterns pretty much. It's a bit jumpy when you don't have anything unlocked. That being said, honestly, just never really commit to sprays, as fun as it is, unless they're really close. Just go for bursts. When you're playing engineer, you want to destroy tanks or vehicles, shoot them in the back, it deals significantly more damage, and you need less rockets to actually kill them. When you play against engineers, engineers have this new thing. I don't know exactly how it works, but I used it and got kills all the time. There's something called a motion mine. Basically, just puts out a mine, and if people step near it, it just shoots on a big-ass rocket. It will hit vehicles, it will hit players, and it will one-shot players. And it is AoE damage. So watch out. It looks like a little drone thing. Don't step on it. Or destroy it if you can. It's gonna be very obvious when you see it. Let's cover movement real quick. So we can't show this in a range, but you can actually roll. Do like little parkour roll to offset fall damage. It's not lethal. I believe for PC, you hit space right before you hit the ground. It's tooltip says C. It doesn't really work. So what movements do we have? We can sprint. You can crouch sprint. Just crouch, hold, sprint. We can go prone. And it's a little bit like Omni movement, where you can go prone in different directions just based on how you hold your inputs. And what I made a habit of doing is, like, if I kill somebody, I lie down behind cover, reset a little bit, because you also get passive healing, and you're good. And you get passive healing, it kicks in pretty fast in a normal playlist. So I would suggest that try to abuse this as much as you can, especially if you're not playing like with your team or whatever. If you're playing against somebody who does go behind cover after you just pump them with lead, and they're gonna heal and reset, keep putting shots on them, because so there's something called suppression in this game, where if you're suppressed, like your screen gets like blurry and you're shaking, and like your recoil actually gets worse. Additionally, in this game, if you're suppressed, you can't heal. And there's been a lot of drama about it, or a lot of controversy about it. I think it's not a bad mechanic. This means is that if you do shoot somebody, this guy goes down to like 90 health or 10 health, he goes ducks behind cover, you can't get to him. By the time you swing him, he might be full health. It's a new 1v1. But if you just suppress him, you shoot a little bit every once in a while as you keep rotating up. Once you get around the corner, the suppression has stopped his auto healing for kicking in, i.e. his 1 health. Bam, he is dead as fuck. I would suggest maybe putting this on a different bind. I just couldn't figure out a button I like. Just double C for me on PC. Let's just slide. It's really strong. It's gonna be nerfed, but it's strong right now. I think you run faster if you knife out, but I can't swap the knife in the range. But you do run faster if you knife out, I'm pretty sure. Slide, and then what you can do is you can slide, jump. You can't slide cancel. Oh yeah, you can slide cancel now. That might be just in range. That didn't work in LA. And you can jump and then slide out of the jump. What you also can do is you can slide and then jump out of the slide to keep some momentum. And next up, I have something that's really basic, but support has defibs. These let you rest instantly. They rest faster in general, but also the defibs, it's a gadget. You just put them together and you pop your teammate. If you hold them for longer, it does this little thing. You will heal your teammate for more health. I'm not sure if it's full health, but it's a lot more. I suggest doing it. You can also drag your teammates out of the action, like into cover when they're dead. I rest the support as any other player. If somebody does drag somebody, you can rest them with your defib as well. You don't need to wait for them to be on the ground to do it. You can hang onto the back of tanks, worth mentioning. Very cool, very great. So you can actually be a full squad on a tank. The thing is, it's a bit janky currently. You can't jump onto the tank when it's in front of you. You have to go into the tank and then hit, I think it's F5 or F6. There's a bind, whatever it is on controller, that lets you get onto that position in the tank. It's basically like another position inside of the tank, as like with a car or whatever. So not a lot of people notice, and they just instantly skip to the respawn whenever they die. But honestly, you don't really have to. So look, if I just, grenade myself, and we're gonna hold skip, you're gonna notice that the respawn timer is actually quite long. Look at this. We have stuff to wait like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Well, like, was it like a 5 second or something? But if we grenade ourselves and you wait, I think it's like 5 seconds. So if you wait to 5 seconds, I'd say to about, let's say like halfway through. So this gives your teammates a chance to revive you. And then you just skip it, like about this point. When you get back into the menu, the respawn is still cut through and you get an instant respawn wherever you want. So never spam your respawns. Or like spam the skip. I do that myself. It's not a good idea because it will literally just be you throwing away your time and chance of getting revived anyways. Another bind a real one to show you guys is something that Thomas Paste, he told me about, and I thought it was really cool. This is probably like one of the coolest features in this game, and I don't think anyone's thought about it. Nobody's mentioned it. So we're just gonna put this on a random button so you can shoot. If you're a controller player, there's literally a snap bind in the settings that I guess maybe you can put on your paddles or something. You can figure it out. But there is a bind in Battlefield 6 that lets you do this. You turn 90 degrees by the press of a button. We're spinbotting, chat. So if you want to turn around really fast, you can do it. You can do it. No problem. Yo, I'm about to get fucking reported doing this. This is 90 degrees perfectly. I don't know if I can even do it like manually. I'd have to like really try to clip farm to get this. I swear, guys, I am not cheating. Perfect 360s every time. Love it. Okay, and then you have, of course, something I don't have a clip of myself, just so we can get it. You can jump out of jets and not take fall damage, which is pretty cool. If you have to bail, it's going straight into the ground. And this is the one we're keeping for the last when it comes to tips. Hopefully we can get a footage of this. The parachute gliding is broken. I can't show you this in the firing range. Hopefully we can get some B-roll of this, but basically the parachute is literally way too fast. I don't know why, that's just how it is. So you can cross the entire map. It's almost like a paraglider in Battlefield 2042, except there's a parachute. So go try it out if you haven't already. Now, finally, the 50-hour Battlefield marathon can finally begin, chat. We're taking this point! Us against the world, chat! Overtime, baby, no problem. We got it. We got it.